Exclusive update for Viking Nation. You're not ready for what just hit Minneapolis because the storm clouds are gathering over US. Bank Stadium and the Thunder is about to shake the entire NFC North to its core. Two defensive warriors have been silenced by invisible enemies. Their brains under siege in ways that could cripple our Sunday night football dreams. A franchise cornerstone battles through pain that would break lesser men, his knees screaming, but his Viking heart refusing to surrender. A grizzled veteran steps from the shadows to fill a void left by catastrophic injury, ready to spill blood for the purple and gold. A beloved son returns home in a reunion that costs more than gold but might be worth every shining piece. And through it all, a rookie quarterback rises like a Norse god, claiming honors that legends before him could only dream of achieving. Viking Nation. Each of these shocks could redefine the future of this franchise. And if you believe in this team more than you hate those cheese-wearing frauds in Green Bay, you better buckle up because the first revelation is about to detonate inside you. And it starts with two of our fiercest defenders facing their darkest battle yet. But hold on, as shocking as that is, the next update cuts even deeper. The concussion protocol has claimed two of our most ferocious defensive weapons, and Andrew Van Ginkel and Jeff Okudah are now trapped in the NFL's medical labyrinth, their availability for Sunday Night Football hanging by the thinnest of threads. Van Ginkel, the relentless pass rusher who terrorizes opposing quarterbacks like a Viking berserker charging through Saxon shields, suffered a blow to the head that has medical staff treating him like fragile glass. Every cognitive test becoming a battle between his warrior spirit and the league's protective protocols. The man who recorded 8 tackles and a crucial pass deflection just 3 days ago against Chicago now sits in darkened rooms, his eyes sensitive to light, his future on the field uncertain as doctors probe his brain for signs of trauma that could sideline him when we need him most. Okudah, our lockdown cornerback who transforms opposing receivers into frustrated children, faces the same invisible enemy, his coverage. Skills potentially stripped away by an injury you can't see, can't fight, and can't overcome through pure determination alone. These aren't just any defensive backs we're talking about, Viking Nation. Van Ginkel brings the kind of relentless pressure that makes Aaron Rodgers wake up in cold sweats, while Okudah possesses the coverage skills that turn elite receivers into afterthoughts. And losing both of them against an Atlanta offense led by Kirk Cousins would be like sending Vikings into battle without shields or swords. The timing couldn't be more brutal, with the Falcons preparing to invade our sacred ground on Sunday night, national television cameras ready to broadcast our potential defensive collapse to millions of viewers who already doubt our purple reign. Medical staff work around the clock, running cognitive assessments and monitoring symptoms that could either clear our warriors for battle or condemn them to watch from the sidelines as their brothers fight without. Do you believe our secondary can survive without these two defensive titans? Or will the Falcons exploit every gap they leave behind like cowards attacking a weakened fortress? The answers will determine whether our defensive coordinator can scheme around these devastating losses. And Viking Nation, if you're ready to ride with this team through every storm, smash that subscribe button right now, because loyalty means standing strong when the winds howl loudest. And just when fans thought it couldn't get crazier, here comes the next bombshell. Stay with me, because what comes next will flip the script in ways nobody predicted. Our offensive line anchor, the mountain of muscle and technique who protects our quarterback's blind side like a loyal guardian, Christian Darrisaw battles through knee pain that would send ordinary men to surgery, yet this warrior participated in every single practice rep on Wednesday, his determination burning brighter than the fires of Valhalla. The left tackle, who stands 6'5" and weighs 300 pounds of pure Viking strength, suffered a knee injury that had medical experts fearing the worst, visions of another franchise cornerstone crumbling under the weight of NFL brutality dancing through the minds of coaches and fans who have witnessed too many dreams die on the injury table. But Darrisaw, whose name means warrior in the ancient tongue of his ancestors, refused to yield to pain that would cripple lesser mortals. Every step he took during practice, sending shockwaves through a coaching staff that desperately needs his massive frame standing between defenders and their rookie quarterback. This isn't just about one player fighting through adversity, Viking Nation. This is about the heart of our offensive line, the foundation upon which championship dreams are built. The immovable object that turns pass rushers into frustrated children who bounce off his frame like pebbles against a castle wall. Darrisaw's knee screams with every plant, every pivot, every explosive movement required to dominate elite edge rushers. Yet medical staff report he showed no limitations during practice, his technique remaining flawless despite the internal battle raging within his joint. The risk calculation becomes a nightmare for coaches who must balance immediate needs against long-term health, knowing that when one wrong hit, one awkward twist, one moment of vulnerability could transform a questionable knee into a season-ending catastrophe that haunts this franchise for years. Darrisaw himself radiates confidence that borders on supernatural, his voice carrying the weight of ancient Viking bloodlines as he declares his readiness to protect his young quarterback against any pass rusher Atlanta can throw at him. Can this massive warrior continue his dominant play while battling knee pain that would sideline softer players? Or will the relentless pressure of Sunday Night Football finally crack even his iron resolve? What would you rather see? Darrisaw risk everything for one crucial game, or watch backup tackles try to protect McCarthy against Atlanta's pass? Rush! Viking Nation! If you believe our big man can overcome any obstacle through pure will and Viking pride, hit that like button and show the world that real fans never doubt their warriors. But trust me, the story only gets darker from here. The next twist will leave you speechless. And if you think that was wild, the second story might just redefine everything you thought you knew. When Blake Cashman's body betrayed him against the Bears, when his hamstring snapped like an overstretched rope and left a gaping hole in our linebacker core, the football gods smiled upon our franchise because Eric Wilson was ready to answer the call. His veteran presence stepping from the shadows like a battle-tested warrior returning from exile. Wilson, the 30-year-old linebacker whose career has taken him through Cincinnati and Philadelphia before bringing him home to Minnesota, now finds himself thrust into a starting role that could define not just his season, but his entire legacy within this proud organization. This isn't just a simple substitution of Viking Nation. This is the story of redemption, of second chances, of a player who understands the weight of the purple jersey and refuses to let his teammates down when they need him most. Wilson brings 7 years of NFL experience to a defense that suddenly finds itself relying on his instincts, his knowledge, his ability to read offensive formations and react with the split-second timing that separates champions from pretenders. The man who recorded 43 tackles last season despite limited playing time now steps into the spotlight, his every movement scrutinized by coaches who need him to fill Cashman's role without missing a beat. Cashman's injury creates a domino effect that ripples through our entire defensive scheme, forcing coordinators to adjust coverages, modify blitz packages, and trust Wilson's veteran savvy to communicate with younger players who suddenly look to him for leadership they never expected to need. This represents more than tactical adjustments. It's about the unbreakable bonds that hold championship teams together when adversity strikes like lightning from a clear sky. Wilson's preparation becomes legendary among teammates who watch him study game film with the intensity of a scholar decoding ancient runes, his understanding of Atlanta's offensive tendencies growing deeper with every hour he spends in the film room. Do you believe Wilson can channel the warrior spirit that flows through every true Viking, or will his sudden elevation expose weaknesses that opposing offenses can exploit like cracks in our defensive armor? What matters more, having the perfect player for every position, or having warriors who refuse to let their brothers fight alone when battle calls? And listen closely, Viking Nation. If Wilson can anchor our defense without Cashman, it proves that this team was built with the kind of depth and character that legends are made of. So smash that subscribe button and show everyone that we believe in every warrior who bleeds purple and gold. And listen, the next chapter is the kind of news that divides a fan base right down the middle, but the night isn't over because the next headline is pure shock and it's heading straight for us. The prodigal son has returned to the land of 10,000 lakes. Adam Thielen is coming home to Minnesota, and the price we paid for this reunion has analysts calling it expensive but absolutely essential for our championship aspirations. Thielen, the former undrafted free agent who transformed himself into a Pro Bowl receiver through pure Minnesota grit, spent the last season catching passes in Carolina, his Vikings legacy frozen in time while he wore the wrong colors for a franchise that never understood his value. The trade that brings him back to US Bank Stadium cost us draft picks that could have been future stars, compensation that some analysts consider steep for a 34-year-old receiver whose best years might be behind him. Yet our front office understood something deeper than mere statistics or age-related concerns. This isn't just about adding another target for JJ. McCarthy. This is about bringing home a player whose very DNA contains the essence of Minnesota football, whose understanding of this franchise runs deeper than playbooks or coaching schemes could ever teach. Thielen's return sends shockwaves through a receiving corps that suddenly gains a veteran presence. A player who knows exactly how to find soft spots in zone coverage, how to run routes with the precision of a master craftsman, how to make crucial catches when the frozen winds of winter turn footballs into missiles. The analytics crowd questions whether his declining speed justifies the investment, whether his aging body can withstand the rigors of another NFL season, whether nostalgic emotions clouded our judgment when cold logic should have prevailed. But Viking Nation understands what the numbers never capture. Thielen's presence in the locker room becomes worth more than any draft pick. His knowledge of this organization's culture invaluable to younger players who need to learn what it truly means to wear purple and gold with pride. The reunion carries emotional weight that transcends football, bringing back memories of miraculous catches, game-winning touchdowns, and moments when Thielen's small-town Minnesota values perfectly embodied everything this franchise represents. Can Thielen's veteran savvy complement Justin Jefferson's explosive talent and create the kind of receiving duo that torments defenses for years to come? Or did we sacrifice too much future potential for a player whose prime may have already passed? What would you choose? Developing young talent through the draft, or bringing home a beloved warrior whose heart beats with pure Viking blood? The answer reveals whether you understand that some players transcend mere statistics and become living symbols of everything we fight for. So if you believe in the power of homecoming stories, hit that like button and prove that Viking Nation never forgets its heroes. Because if you thought this was the peak of chaos, the real avalanche is just starting. And think this was wild? Just wait until the rivals make their counter move. Because that war is only beginning. The crown jewel of this entire week, the moment that makes every other story pale in comparison, arrives in the form of individual recognition that validates everything we believed about our rookie quarterback's supernatural abilities. JJJ. McCarthy has been named NFC Offensive Player of the Week, becoming the first quarterback in NFL history to earn this honor in his debut game while throwing 3 touchdown passes in the fourth quarter of a comeback victory that will be remembered for generations. McCarthy's ascension to this prestigious award represents more than statistical achievement. It symbolizes the changing of the guard in Minnesota, the moment when a 21-year-old quarterback announced to the entire league that the Vikings' future burns brighter than the northern lights dancing across our frozen skies. The rookie, who was drafted to eventually replace Kirk Cousins, accelerated that timeline through pure determination. His 4 touchdown passes against Chicago, including 3 in the final frame, that transformed a potential defeat into a legendary victory that had grown men weeping tears of joy in the stands. This honor places McCarthy in exclusive company, joining a list of NFC offensive players of the week that includes Hall of Fame legends and MVP winners, his name now etched alongside greatness before he's even played his second professional game. The award validates everything our coaching staff saw in McCarthy during the draft process. His ability to perform under pressure, his pocket presence that defies his age, his arm strength that can thread passes through the tightest windows while defenders close in like hungry wolves. McCarthy's achievement sends shockwaves through the NFC North, where opposing coaches must now game plan for a quarterback whose rookie debut included more fourth quarter touchdown passes than some veterans throw in entire seasons. The recognition arrives at the perfect moment. just days before our Sunday night football showdown with Atlanta, when national television audiences will witness whether McCarthy can follow up his historic debut with another performance worthy of prime time. This award represents more than individual glory. It embodies the hopes and dreams of an entire franchise, the belief that we finally found the quarterback who can lead us to the promised land that has eluded us for decades. Every touchdown McCarthy threw against the Bears carried the weight of Minnesota's football history. Each completion, a statement that the days of quarterback uncertainty have ended forever. Can McCarthy's award-winning debut serve as the foundation for a legendary career that brings multiple Super Bowl championships to Minneapolis, or will the pressure of sudden recognition prove too heavy for even his broad shoulders to carry? What does it mean when your rookie quarterback earns the same honor as established superstars? When his first game becomes the standard by which all future performances will be measured? The answer lies in understanding that greatness recognizes no age limits, that champions emerge when least expected, that the frozen tundra of Minnesota has produced a quarterback whose destiny extends far beyond anything we dared imagine. Viking Nation, if you believe McCarthy's award represents just the beginning of a legendary journey that will bring championships home to the land of 10,000 lakes, if you're ready to ride with his warrior through every battle that awaits, if you understand that this moment marks the dawn of a new era in Minnesota football history, then hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, and flood the comments with your predictions for how many more awards our Golden Boy will claim before this magical season ends. And if this week felt like an earthquake, what's coming next could be the aftershock that topples the whole season, because the next 72 hours might be the most decisive in this franchise's history. And when Sunday night arrives, when the lights shine brightest and the world watches our young quarterback face his second professional test, every play will carry the weight of destiny itself. Every pass will determine whether McCarthy's debut was lightning in a bottle or the first thunderclap of an approaching storm that will reshape the entire NFL landscape. Think this was wild? Just wait until the rivals make their countermove, because that war is only beginning, and Viking Nation stands ready to conquer all who dare oppose our purple reign.